$20. 20 bucks. Careful on the line for 20 bucks. Hi guys, Jabor from Montreal. It's Maggie, Mrs. Calabash, and Derek. We're back. Yay! 3 years. Where has the time gone? We're a little older, a little greyer. I would like to say a little wiser, but I don't think so. So, welcome back everybody. It's great to be back. It's lovely. And today we're going to do something very quick, easy, anytime special shrimp with an Asian salad. Now, things have altered a little bit since we last filmed when we were with you, because sometimes you can't always get what in the stores that's on your shopping list. So sometimes we have to substitute. It's not the fault of the store owners, it's the supply problem. It's worldwide. So the recipes that I've done for you are a guideline, and sometimes we might just have to substitute. So that's saying, let's get on and make the shrimp. And for this, and another thing, I've had cataract operation since I last saw you, so I'm going to have to be doing this. Before, I just had my glasses, and I can't always see to read the recipes. So, and memory being what it is with old age, I might leave something out. So come with me back to the stove and let's get started. Now, I've got some olive oil in here, which I'm heating, I've just had on to heat up. And I'm going to put the onion in. Now, on the recipe, it's half a cup of chopped onion, so it's 1 small onion. I'm not going to measure half a cup. And so let's just get that started. I like to cook as you know, anybody who's watched the show before, I like to cook the onion a little bit before we add the garlic, because the garlic has a lot more sugar in it than the onion, and it burns quite easily. So just start the onion off first. We don't want it overcooked, but we just want it to go transparent. And we've got cherry tomatoes. Now, the tomatoes are in the garden at the moment. Mine haven't done too well this year. I had to put them in a container because last year I had them in the garden. I didn't get a tomato. The dogs ate every single tomato, would you believe it? Even the little one reached up and managed to get the tomato. So I thought, right, I'll put them on a table. Well, unfortunately, it looks lovely, but the morning glory has rather overtaken the tomatoes, and they've got a little bit strangled. So I don't have many tomatoes this year, but you can see that the onions have just turned a little in colour. And so we're putting in the garlic. If you've got a lot of tomatoes, don't go out and buy cherry tomatoes. Chop your tomatoes up and use those. Don't go out buying special. I'm just going to let those cook there for a few minutes. Let's put the pot on like that. Now, I'm deviating. Just wondering how to deviate. Let's just cook those for a few minutes. We don't want the shrimp to overcook, because if the shrimp overcooks, it gets very tough and rubbery. So I've got frozen shrimp. I treated ourselves this time. I did quite large shrimp for this dish. They were on special at a reasonable price, and so I thought, yeah, let's go special. I like large shrimp. I'm used to being able to walk on the seafront and buy fresh shrimp. And I used to live I was brought up near the East Coast in England, where the fisheries are. So fish was very much a staple diet, and seafood. And my cousin lives in Norwich, which is a little bit further up from East Yorkshire, a little bit further south, and it's very much known for seafood. And she keeps sending me these gorgeous pictures of chroma crab, and she went out for a meal on Sunday with a seafood platter. Oh my gosh, you would have died for it. It was beautiful. Where's my glasses? I've done something with them.
They're on your head.
They're on my head. Thank you, Derek. These will take about 5 minutes just to soften. You can see the tomatoes are softening. Let's put that back. And whilst they're softening and cooking, for the next recipe, which is an Asian salad, we need toasted sesame seeds. So I'm just going to, I've got a little skillet dry. And for this, you really do have to keep an eye on it because they burn very, very quickly. I just want to make sure that the skillet is totally dry. There we are. I like it to be really, really dry for this. And yeah. One of my, no, I like that. I don't like things with long handles. So saying, some of my wooden spoons.
Can you do them on a different burner so I can see them?
Oh, geez.
Either of those sides are fine.
Pardon?
Either of that side is fine.
Okay.
Front or back.
Hang on. Oh, what it is to have a producer. You know, I can't see. Doesn't matter whether the things will cook or not. There we are. Is Sir happy now?
Sarah is happy.
Derek's happy. Yay! Derek's happy. Just keep your hand over the top of this because you don't want it to get over hot, because if it gets over hot, they're going to burn straight away. So it just feels a nice heat. The sesame seeds. And this is the same. This is the same for roasting nuts, coconut. It's the same. It's the same principle. And you see, they're starting to jump. As they roast, they jump. So you have to be a little bit patient with it. It's very tempting just to put the heat up. Come on, just a little bit. Some days this gas, it doesn't have a lot of heat in it, and that's one of the days today. The pressure, I don't know why, but the pressure's down. It was awful on Sunday. I couldn't get anything cooked. There we are. And we don't want to be heating up the kitchen too much. It does make a bit of a mess of your stovetop. There we are. This brings out the nuttiness in any seeds. And it's the same if you roast it, when you're roasting your spices, the same idea. Brings out the flavour. There we are, almost there. I've got a pan on the boil there with some water in it, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a minute. I just want to bring it up to boiling point. There we are. We're just about there. Can you see? They've changed colour.
Can see perfectly.
You can see perfectly good. So they're cooked, they're roasted, and we'll just leave those there in the centre. Turn that down a little bit because they're almost cooked. We'll just give them a quick stir and they can come back on the front. All the juice runs out of the tomatoes and makes it beautiful. There we are. Now in here I've got a pan of boiling water. And this is a slight deviation on the Asian salad because I like rice sticks in my Asian salad. So I've got a few rice sticks and I'm going to pour boiling water on. I don't know if you can hear the dogs. They're in the bedroom upstairs and it sounds like the Hound of the Baskervilles. You wouldn't believe it, but they've got air conditioning, a bed, television, and they're still complaining. Now these are going to take about 4 minutes to soften. We don't want them over soft, but we do just need them nice and soft. So I'm going to get these out of the way. I always like to leave them on the side of the stove because of the boiling water, but we'll just leave those there. That's going to mess things up. It's going to fog up the camera. I've got to think ahead. So let's have a look at this and see what these are doing. Move it further forward. There we are. Oh yes, look how nice it is. Beautiful. I'm going to add the shrimp. I love fresh shrimp, but I must confess, the frozen ones are much more convenient and easy to deal with. There we are. Now just keep stirring this over because we want the shrimp to absorb all that beautiful flavour. And we're going to cook them until they just turn pink. We don't want to overcook because we're going to put the spinach in there, so they're going to have a little bit more heat on. And this is a dish which comes together in no time. Now at this stage I'm going to just add a little seasoning, and so that the shrimp have some seasoning. And this is my own special seasoning. If you remember from last time, it's I use it all the time. It's 2 spoonsful of salt to 1 of pepper, and I always grind my own pepper. You get a fresher product, and B, it's a lot cheaper, because if you go into the store and you'll see little packets of ground pepper as opposed to a packet of peppercorns, the price is the same, but you get extra amount in the peppercorns than you do in the ground pepper. So just with a little spice grinder, which is an old coffee grinder, then you're saving money. So those shrimps are, and this is some washed fresh spinach. So you see, you need a fairly large pan or skillet, we're going to cook that. Let's see if I can get that out without making a mess. We just want the spinach to wilt. So we're not losing any of the goodness from the spinach. It's not going into water. It's all going into the dish. And look how it's, you know, it goes to nothing. I love spinach. Whoops, there we are. You can use frozen spinach. I have used frozen spinach for this. Just defrost it. As I say, nowadays you have to really think, what can you substitute. I went shopping for the show because Monday was closed, so I did some shopping on Friday, got a fair amount, and we had to go into Ottawa on Saturday, so I nipped into the Ottawa stores. They hadn't got a vast amount. Some stuff I couldn't get. I came back into Kentville, and you know, there's a lot of blank spaces. There we are. It's all cooked. That is as simple as that. So look, it's taken me, what, 10 minutes to get it all together. I'm going to put it on, I want to keep it warm. So, let's see, come on, light, typical. Let's turn that off. There we are. I'm just going to turn it down as low as possible to keep it warm, because I really do want, I'd like to serve that warm. It can be eaten cold, but I just want to keep it warm, and we'll check for the seasoning afterwards. So let's just go and have a look, see how the noodles are doing. They need a little bit longer. They're almost there, but not quite. Now for the Asian salad, we've got carrots, red pepper, celery, and you will see a medium red onion. I bought a red onion. It cost me, would you believe, for one red onion, and it wasn't a big one, $1.18. I get home, start prepping yesterday, I can't find my red onion. I think I must have left it in the car. So I was a little bit horrified at $1.18 for quite a small red onion, but that's what life is at the moment. So you've got white onion at the moment. And I like shredded cabbage in my Asian salad. So I just got, this is just a plain green cabbage. So I'm very fond of cabbage, as Derek calls me, don't you love, cabbage queen. I love cabbage. So I've got cabbage, grated carrot. I think grating the carrot takes the longest part of this. So I apologise for the dogs. That little loudest one is the smallest of the lot and is the noisiest, and he's very much in charge of the rest of the dogs. Celery. So this is a good salad, lots and lots of fibre. Put those there. Red, a nice ripe red pepper. a nice sweet ripe red pepper. Use any colour. I like red or orange pepper. I'm not overly keen, funny enough, on green pepper. I like the softness of the coloured peppers. The onion. Now, if you find the onion a little bit strong, before you chop it...
Use a red onion.
Use a red onion, but even if you find that strong, before you chop it, slice it and put it in some vinegar or some water, and that will take the bite out of it. And roasted peanuts. So you see, it's quite a substantial salad, even without some cilantro, and I'm just going to get the sesame seeds. Just check if you've got somebody coming for a meal that they're not allergic to sesame. If you are, you're going to have to substitute various things, because I had a friend and she only had to put it there, anything there, if it had been next to anything with sesame, and it was hospital. So just make sure if you've got somebody coming that they've not got an allergy. Lovely. A little cilantro. I'm going to save a little bit of the dish to sprinkle over the top of the shrimp. If you don't like cilantro, then parsley. You can substitute parsley. Let's check those noodles, because they don't want to be too soft. I like this bit. It's tasting. They're almost there. By the time we've made the dressing, then the noodles will be ready. You can put the noodles in there or serve the noodles separately. Now, you can make the dressing by putting everything in a jar and just shaking it, but I like to whisk that soy sauce, lemon juice. This is honey, just to add a little bit of sweetness. You can always add a little more honey if you find that it's not sweet enough. Sesame oil, little minced garlic, and this is ginger. This is minced fresh ginger. In a push, if you can't get ginger, then you could always just use a little powdered ginger. The fresh is better, obviously, but you know, it's not always convenient to nip out the store and go and get it. The soy sauce does make a bit of a mess. Now we're going to taste that. It might need some seasoning added to it. Let me... just a little. There we are. I'm going to pour that over there. Mix in well. And again, we might just have to add a little seasoning onto that. Like that. Seasoning is a very, I never put amount, you'll probably notice, I never put amounts in to use, and my son-in-law said, why? I said, because it's a very personal, seasoning is very personal. What I could consider just well seasoned, somebody else would say, no, that's too salty. And it also depends on the salt that you're using, because if you're using a big flake salt, you use more than a finely ground salt. So everything is relative. That's good. Yes? We're going to strain the noodles. Now, just remember to wash the noodles in cold water. If you don't, they're all going to stick together and you could build with them. I found this by accident. I was preparing a class when I was coordinator at Vanier for Loblaws. I'd done the noodles like this. The phone went. Answered the phone. Looked, oh yeah, my noodles are done. And we'd got an evening class. I came to use them in the evening and everything was bound together. We had to start again. So make sure that they're well and truly rinsed. Cold water, and that takes away all the starch. And I like to add just a little sesame oil over there and a little more seasoning. Like that. So what we're going to do is now we're going to plate up. Let me move the little man. Dry my hands. I wish it was lunchtime. I'm starving.
It will be soon.
I'm going to put some noodles on the bottom. Hey, we're not ready. Derek, why are we playing?
$20. Say goodbye, Maggie.
But, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not ready. That. See, I'm doing. Started paying.